My name's Chaitin Black. You might have heard of my mother, Amelia. She owns the Falcon Company. I guess I'd recovered enough from my war wounds to make a nuisance of myself. So she sent me out west on company business. Said it'd be good for me. I agreed to go, but only so I could reconnect with my Lakota uncle and see an old friend from my days in the Union Army.
Ah, for there, my old buddy Chaitin Black. I see you healed nicely.
Long time no see, Billy. I never did get the chance to thank you for saving me back at Antietam.
Nothing you wouldn't have done in my place. And don't say I didn't do nothing good for you Indians.
You haven't changed a bit, Billy. You were probably caught rifling through my pockets for loose change and had to carry me in.
What brings you to Fort Laramie besides cleaning up messes the Henharts back east are too scared to handle? Got some trading to do?
I'm sure you received my telegram. Business aside, I'm hoping to find some Lakota family from these parts.
Well, I got moved out west after the war. I'm the quartermaster around here. Now, there's something that needs getting, you come to me. And you know how to work the system. There's a lot of coin to be made. Aside from a few minor nuisances.
Speaking of nuisances, tell me about this outlaw situation.
Looks like this might be your lucky day to pay me back that life you owe me.
What's the trouble?
No offense, but Indians aside, we got this Reno gang that's been interfering with our trading business and your railroad. Nothing they won't do to get their hands on some cash made with an honest day's work.
I see.
We can get to all those details in due time. Sure is good to see you again, kid. We'll find a good spot for your trading post further up the trail. Yeah? Okay. Alright. Okay. Alright. Okay. Sure. Okay. Sure thing. Alright. Okay. Alright. Right.
What happened here?
This kind of careless savagery ain't my style, but just remember, Chaitin, men usually ain't out here to do things the nice way.
These could have been my relatives.
Kill or be killed, kid. This shouldn't be anything new for a man who's been through the butchery we saw in the War of the Rebellion.
But we only fought Confederate soldiers. We never killed any townsfolk.
I hate to say it, but there's always gonna be innocent folks hurt when it comes to progress. I'm sure the company would agree.
Let's just take care of this Reno gang once and for all, and we can save the talk of progress for later.
Help me! Help!
There's lots more men coming up behind us. Please, save them.
I'm ready. Okay. Sure thing. All right. We should be able to hire some men in the saloon here. What you need? Sure thing. All right.
I got word through a Lakota trader at the fort that my uncle and his band were camped in the hills, no more than a day's ride away. So, with some trepidation, I went to see him and introduce myself. Haulachi wakaha, ehakachchi daya tachi, Amelia Jingshit Guki, Chaitin Black, Mie.
Ihonilachche, nephew. You can call me Uncle Frank, if you like.
You have an English name?
This name was given to me by the Christians when they first visited us. I didn't care for them all that much, but I kind of liked the way Frank Warbonnet sounded.
It does have a nice ring to it, Uncle.
It is good you have come. When your father passed, we were saddened that you were taken so far away. However, I'm happy to see my nephew has turned out to be a strong warrior, like his father.
Thank you. We have beaten the gang that was attacking Lakota villages and Falcon Company property.
This is good, nephew. But what is your concern with this Falcon Company?
It's my job to protect it, Uncle. Since I was wounded in war against the South, I had to make my way somehow. My mother offered me a job, so I took it. The company allows our people in other nations to trade and gives honest folk employment so they can feed their families.
This might be so, but at what expense? Your mother's company continues to bring white settlers by the trainload. They slaughter the bison, attack our people. They do not understand what it means to be in good relations. I'm afraid your mother has lost her way. Your father would be disappointed to hear this news.
You may be right about the company, Uncle. But now that these bandits have been taken care of, I can return home and explain your concerns to Mother. Try to make things right. Doksha ake, Uncle. It had been 10 long years since returning to the East Coast from Fort Laramie. I had been working from the inside to change the way the Falcon Company treated my people, while at the same time using the company's influence to lobby for change in D.C. We'd met with modest success and would have kept at it until I got word from my contacts in the capital that the U.S. Army was planning a major offensive against the Lakota people. I had to warn my uncle of the coming war.
Chayton Black. Ha ha! Glad to see the company still knows when to send its best. Especially when there's a whole lot of money involved.
I've got more than just company business to take care of out here. And it looks like you're moving up in the world, home. You've got a badge now.
Sheriff's just another word for a humble servant to the people. But enough about me and my illustrious career. Let me show you what we found out here.
Gold.
And wouldn't you have it, there's another pack of thieves even worse than before, trying to get their grubbing hands on it too. Call themselves the hole-in-the-wall gang. With these railroads expanded and nobody to defend them, it shouldn't be any surprise what we're up against now. Not to mention, we've been under attack from the Sioux.
Sioux is what our enemies call us. We are Lakota.
Ooh, hit a sore spot, huh? Well, anyhow, this here's a Falcon Company matter.
Indeed, it is. The company is losing a great deal of money to these outlaws, and it's giving all the gumps back east headaches. Once this gang trouble gets taken care of, it appears you and I have some catching up to do.
You know what's bad about gold? It attracts flies. Start swatting, kid. The vermin around here want to destroy the mining camps. Okay. Your job is to protect the mining camps while taking out their barracks. Ready? Okay. What you need? All right. With the hole-in-the-wall gang taken care of, that leaves us with just the native problem.
Sounds to me like you got things backwards, Home. The Black Hills are sacred to the Lakota, and the problem is white folk can't seem to get enough of it.
Yeah, with this much money on the line, I figured you'd listen to reason, Chayton.
Go to hell, Holm. I'm heading into the hills to see my uncle.
Things have changed since you've been gone, Chayton. The Sioux aren't the friendly neighbors they used to be, and there may still be remnants of the gang in those hills. Don't imagine you'll make it more than halfway before you find yourself scalped or killed!
The only scalp you need to worry about, old man, is the one on your narrow-minded head. Maybe Holm was right. Could be a tough fight to get to Uncle Frank. Maybe these townsfolk will help us out. What is your command? I'm going now. I'm going now. I'll do it. I'll do it. I'm going now. I'll do it. I'll do it. I'm going now. I'll do it.
You've returned, nephew.
Yes, Uncle. I've come to bring you news that the U.S. Army is on the warpath. They intend to attack Lakota and others.
Yes, nephew. This has been known, and we will fight.
Are you sure this is the right decision?
Do you know what the cow does when the winter wind blows in the dead of winter?
I do not.
The cow turns away and puts its back to the wind. And do you know what the tatanka, the bison, does?
What does it do, Uncle?
It turns to the wind and faces it head on. Out here, the settlers' cows freeze to death. But the tatanka survive. We too are survivors. And we will face this wind head on.
I understand.
The 7th Cavalry will fall on our camp. When the time comes, the tribes must be united. And it will be your job to make sure they are ready.
I can do this, but Uncle, I have another matter to discuss with you.
What is that, nephew?
Have your warriors attack the miners?
The truce was broken. The miners led by the sheriff attacked one of our neighboring camps at night, killing many innocent people. We must defend our lands and our people.
Hold on. Are you saying that the sheriff was leading the miners during this attack? Billy Holm?
I saw him with my own eyes. Many here recognize him from the fort.
That lying coward. There you are.
You're still alive. Huh. Good thing, because we found a Sioux camp planning to attack the mining operation. They got a big stockpile of guns and ammo, too.
To imagine this whole time, you were the leader of the Hole-in-the-Wall gang.
What's this?
My uncle told me everything.
Oh, come on now, Chayton. Who are you gonna believe? A man who dragged your bullet-riddled body from a battlefield? Or a savage?
And all this time, I had refused to believe the rumors about you during the war. Back then, the fella said you went out at night to take the gold teeth from dead soldiers, and worse. But I always stuck up for you.
It's a lousy world, Chayton. But I didn't make it this way.
If I were you, I'd start walking away right about now.
And you'd never shoot an old buddy now, would you?
Don't tempt me.
Have it your way, Chayton. But this ain't gonna end well for you, friend. Gold makes a man rich. So my fort, my troops, will wipe out your village. You chose wrong. Now die with your people!
Ibalamanite, Wanmanite,
Tiwohati, Uyacha, Ibach,
Akichta, Unchikte. Pardon me?
Sorry, I don't have any firewater.
The name is Chayton Black with the Falcon Company. I would address you as General, but since your demotion, is it Lieutenant now?
Lieutenant Colonel, and it wasn't a demotion. I was reverted to my previous rank.
I'm sure you've heard of the trouble around here. The former sheriff, Billy Holm, has started a war with the Lakota and was leading the hole-in-the-wall gang to steal from the mining camps and the company. I would advise you to stay here while I bring Holm to justice and put an end to this war. We won't need you or your men after that.
Just so happens I'll be resting here for the night. You have one day, Mr. Black.
Holm is hiding somewhere in these hills. We'll earn the trust of the local people and they'll help us root him out. All this killing and lying for what? Gold?
Ain't gold what the Falcon Company is here for? You could say I was just speeding up the process.
By murdering innocent people and stealing from the company?
If it weren't for me, the company wouldn't even be here. It would have been overrun by Indians a long time ago. I was doing the company a service.
Enough talk. I'm taking you in.
Nothing I say is gonna stop Custer from butchering your Sioux friends.
Well then, it'll just have to be a hanging.
I should have let you die all those years back.
Here's your chance, Holm. Why don't you finish the job?
Major, pursue the Indians and bring them to battle. We'll support you with the whole command once you engage.
Reverted Lieutenant Colonel Custer. Holm has been taken care of, and the Lakota will no longer be a threat.
And where exactly is Holmes' confession? Tell me why I should believe the word of an Indian.
Because I'm hoping you're a reasonable man, and I know we can settle this without more bloodshed.
Mr. Black, this is bigger than a two-bit traitor sheriff. As a businessman, you of all people should know, this is a matter of bringing civilization to the uncivilized. This is destiny.
Civilizing through killing innocent women, children, and elders? This isn't soldiering, it's savagery, and I won't stand for it.
What did you say? I could have you hanged for treason. Why are you smiling? Something strike you as funny?
I was just thinking about how you'll be the butt of Indian jokes for years to come.
Let him go.
Another camp. Gather the war chiefs. I will return.
The Cheyenne camp should be close by. Let's find them. Huamanite. Huable.
You did well, nephew. I'm proud. And your father would be proud too.
Thank you, Uncle Frank.
I would ask you to stay, but you seem to already have your heart set.
I think I've caused enough trouble. So many have died, Uncle.
Yes, this is true. But perhaps it was Custer who had to die, for all their transgressions.
Let's hope the lesson was learned. But just in case, I will continue the fight back east.
And remember, no matter where you come from, or where you are, you will always have value. But it's up to you what you do with it. Uksha Ake.
Thank you, Uncle. Doksha Ake.